News, Nairobi.
All right, there are still more issues regarding the state of the national dialogue. Let's talk about what happened today, because there risks a stalemate and possible collapse of the talks next week. And this is the reason why that the stalemate and possible collapse of the talks is due to the hardline positions that have been taken by the two parties. Now, parties to iron out those positions by next week on Wednesday, and report writing, because it's not yet been ironed out, is pending. Remember, they went all the way to Naivasha for the report writing at some point. Now, let's talk about the issues that are outstanding in the state of the national dialogue, by beginning to talk about what they have agreed upon and what they have disagreed upon. So the parties have failed to agree on reducing the cost of living, prompting Azimio to declare a stalemate, because they can't agree whether the cost of living should remain on the table or be taken off the table. Azimio is insisting that also the VAT and other taxes on fuel be cut to at least 8%. Remember, this was increased by 16%. The reason, it was an agreement by the IMF, so they can't touch it. This debate preceded the reading of the budget in the 2023-2024. It's one of the issues outstanding. Azimio is saying cut it by 8. They're saying no, it has to remain at 16 because it was part of IMF agreement. Away from that, Kenya Kwanza is insisting that its hands are tied by the 16%. That's what I've just explained, because it's a deal with the IMF. Now, moving on, Azimio push for the scaling up and the expansion of the social protection programs to cover more people and obviously to pay for more money. What does Kenya Kwanza say about that? Now, Kenya Kwanza says that there is no money for the social protection program. It cannot be upscaled, and of course no more money can be paid. That's one of the other reason for the stalemate. So apart from that, let's talk about Azimio on the housing levy. They want it removed or scrapped off or made voluntary. Now, what does Kenya Kwanza say about this? This was their flagship project. That's what they're talking about. And of course, it's in their manifesto. It's a promise that they cannot drop or even try to tamper with and change. One of the reasons for the stalemate also, Kenya Kwanza also considered on reduction of the road maintenance levy from 18 to 13. One of the issues that they have considered on, reduce it from 18 to 13 shillings. That one they agreed upon definitely. You know why? Doesn't affect the masses. Let's move on. Both parties also agreed on the reduction of the anti-adulteration levy from 18 to 15. Why are they agreeing upon this again? It's not so contentious, that doesn't touch the masses. And to conclude, the reasons why there's a stalemate tonight and possible collapse of the talks next week on Wednesday before Friday, because the term of this committee was granted, the 1 month was extended by Parliament. So if they don't agree by Wednesday, then definitely their lifespan expires and they can't talk more about the national dialogue. So the mandate of the committee expires on Friday next week. Agreement must be reached by Wednesday, or the talks may just be considered to have collapsed irredeemably.
And that's why we asked for timeout to make further consultations, principally with the National Treasury, and we shall be recalling the Cabinet Secretary in charge of the National Treasury to join us when we reconvene next week on Wednesday, by which time we expect also to have a draft report to consider as we settle on the small issues that we are yet to agree on.
It is important that we hear from Treasury, and that is where they should help us crack that issue, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who collect the revenue. They are the ones who dispense, of course, service government programs. And so at this time, we all know the country is crying out for help. So the cost of living matter, we decided to confront it head on. Okay, that's why we have asked for further consultations.
Now, away from the national dialogue to the national